motherfucking bag. Stand on the way, I mean. Sacrificing time for this shit, man, I got a plan. Tried to tell niggas years ago, they ain't understand. Riding by myself and it's cool, I'm all in my head. Everything in life you can't replace, I build relationships. Pretty little smile make a nigga wanna lock it in. We met the same time I lost a friend, we should try again. You should hop in, I ain't gon' hurt you, baby girl, you know we locked in. Used to be on FaceTime calls on the regular. Never made time, landed on my busy schedule. Now every time I hit the bay, you know I think of you. Working on your brand, love, you know that I...
But we got a lot of things to celebrate. Okay, so when I call out all the stats, okay, we know what it is. It's hey. So here we go. Jake Ferguson got a touchdown. Hey. Javonte Williams got a touchdown. Hey. Jake Ferguson got another touchdown. Hey. George Pickens with a touchdown. Hey. And Javonte Williams goes with another one. Hey. Hey, takeaways. Woo. Forced fumble by Marist. Hey. Recovery by Sam. Hey. Oaks got a sack. Hey. Houston got a sack. Hey. Houston got another sack. Hey. Kenny Clark got a sack. Hey. Sam Williams got a sack. Hey. Dante Fowler got a sack. Hey. Brandon Aubrey had 30 yards. Hey. And then Jalen Tolbert had a onside kick recovery. Hey. Then he had another onside kick recovery. Hey. And that's what it's about. Winning. You brought us out. Break it down. He was nervous. You didn't know it. Yeah. Family on three. Family on three. 1, 2, 3. Family.
And we are live. What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy, Henny DeMoore, reporting live from the liquor store, man. And it's a Victory Monday, man. A Victory Monday morning. I know a lot of y'all making y'all way to work. I know a lot of y'all parlaying. Y'all done drunk a little bit too much last night in celebration. But we open, man. The liquor store is open. We out here thugging. And we bringing y'all some unadulterated, unfiltered, premium Dallas Cowboys content, man. So salute to everybody out there across all platforms. On the way into the liquor store, make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that share if you care. Slap the shit out of an Eagles fan because you know they deserve it. And without further ado, man, let's go ahead and dive head first into the content, man. Because, hey, we got quite a bit to talk about this morning, man. Because the reason we're here is the Dallas Cowboys went out and they handled business. They went and got that 37-22 win over the New York Jets. They crashed and burned. They could not properly pilot that damn aircraft, and, you know, they nosedived right into the ground, man. Full with them damn Dallas Cowboys. Now, I'm going to just give y'all my thoughts, my takeaways, my perspectives on some things. And, you know, we're going to have ourselves a good time this morning. But kudos to the offense, man. And really kudos to the defense as well, because as I said, this was one of the better games they played this year. And like, if we talk about an offensive performance and a defensive performance, this is probably the best game that the Dallas Cowboys have played all season, man. Thad Grant, salute to you. Thank you for sliding into the building, man. Thank you for rocking with your boy in the liquor store. Make sure y'all hit that share button on the way in, man. I know it's early as hell, and I know some of y'all ain't even got up yet. But we're going to be on here for about an hour, so everybody going to have plenty of time to get in, man. The usual patrons will have enough time to get in. We're going to be on here for about an hour. But on your way in, man, if you already up, make sure you share. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit that share button. So as John Machoda pointed out, y'all make sure y'all go show John some love, man. Dallas Cowboys will improve to 2-2-1. That shit still sound crazy. Like 2-2-1 still sound crazy, you know. But, you know, the key highlights of this: Dak Prescott threw 4 touchdown passes. Was not ever in threat of actually throwing an interception. I don't think he had any turnover-worthy plays throughout the course of this game. So, you know, Dak Prescott still playing MVP-level football in the first quarter of the season. You know, hope to see him keep making those kind of plays. Jake Ferguson, after not finding the end zone at all last year, has 3 receiving touchdowns in the last 2 games. So I'm not saying that he's back. I'm not saying it's a comeback. But Jake Ferguson is playing damn good football right now, man. Now, they are making sure to feature him a lot. They are giving him a lot of targets and a lot of opportunities. But you know what you do with said targets and opportunities is important as a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Because he could be getting the targets and the opportunities and not turning them into any positive plays or anything like that. So kudos to Jake Ferguson. You know, and we were very hard on him to start the season. You know, we had questions about, you know, how he was responding to, you know, the last injury, if it was in his head and if he was playing physical enough. And he's been playing good football ever since we questioned him. You know what I'm saying? So I like to let my praise be just as loud as my criticism. If I said something crazy about you before as a football player, and then you out here just making me look like a damn fool, I want to be just as loud and giving you your flowers as I am in giving my critique. You know, I think that's only fair. Javonte Williams. Matter of fact, Javonte Williams is the poster child of making me look like a dumbass. I'm gonna just keep it 1,000 with y'all, cause I went and I looked, you know, at they training camp in Frisco. I was not impressed with Javonte Williams when I was out there looking at him. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really see what Shotty and them was seeing. But now that the pads are on and they're playing other competition outside of the Dallas Cowboys defenders, like Javonte Williams' physicality is able to shine through. He's breaking hella tackles. He's running physically. He's dragging people, you know, past the first contact. You know, even that 66-yard touchdown, that 66-yard run that he had in this game was not really predicated on his speed. Like, he went through the hole. He was determined. He broke some tackles, then he got into the open field. You know what I'm saying? So his physicality led to an explosive play for the Dallas Cowboys offense. And that was something that I did not quite see, you know, when I was at Frisco. And honestly, I wouldn't have been able to see that because of the way that they handle practice. They weren't really tackling people, you know, they weren't really tackling people like that. Right? So, like, that superpower of absorbing contact and bouncing off of people and stuff, that was really kept hidden from me until these actual live games, man. So, again, I was very skeptical and critical of Javonte Williams before the season started. And now that he's balling, I got to take my hat off to the young man. Like, he's hooping. And it's not just because of the offensive line. You could say, like, the scheme is helping, because this is a very good run scheme and a very good run plan. But, dog, they had four reserve offensive linemen playing for the Dallas Cowboys yesterday, man. You know, Nate Thomas was a 7th-round pick, and he was the starting left tackle. You know, I think my brother Brock Hoffman was a UDFA. TJ Bass was a UDFA. Right? Even Terrence Steele, the sole starting offensive lineman out there, he's a former UDFA his damn self. You know, he played well enough to get the bag, but he's a former UDFA his damn self. So when you look at the pedigree of the people playing on that offensive line, you know, he didn't have his All-Pros in front of him. He didn't have his Pro Bowls in front of him. 12th overall pick wasn't out there in Tyler Booker. And they were still able to run all over the New York Jets. Now, I knew coming into this game, the New York Jets was like the 25th ranked run defense, and they weren't that good at stopping the run at all. But, you know, it's still impressive as hell, you know, to see somebody go out there with a makeshift offensive line and get 135 yards on the ground. You know, that's just me. George Pickens went out there, 57 yards on a touchdown, most of it coming on a 43-yard bomb over Sauce Gardner, the multi-time All-Pro defensive back. And then kudos to Ryan Flournoy as well, man. He had his coming out party this last game, 114 yards. Ryan Flournoy looked like he belonged, man. And it's just really like his receiving chart and where he was at, where he did his damage and all the other good stuff, man. Because, listen, I have not been the biggest supporter of Ryan Flournoy. I see the talent. I see that he's, you know, I see what people like about Ryan Flournoy, but I wasn't really sold on him. You know what I'm saying? Not to stay too long on the subject. And I also was school shaming the boy. I said he had too many directions in his school to be a good football player. I think he's from like Southeast Missouri or some bullshit. So I was milling the boy, man. I said he had too many directions in his motherfucking school, for me to take him seriously. But I've been wrong about him up to this point, man. What's up, JV? I don't know why my notifications are acting like that. So listen, I got almost 4,000 subs on here. And I really want y'all help to get to 4,000, right? Because I'm trying to grow the channel. The more that we grow, the more content I can bring y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a good return on investment. But you weren't the only one though, JV. That's really one of the reasons why I need people to share the content. I need y'all to share the content because sometimes YouTube doesn't give the notifications like they're supposed to give the notifications. I've been on here almost 12 minutes. And one of my biggest supporters did not know that I was even live. So, that's why that stuff is important, man. So, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button on the way into the liquor store. Help with the algorithm. Make sure y'all hit the share button. And, man, listen, share it to a group chat. You can share it to a group chat, a Facebook group. You can put it on your Twitter page, your Twitch. Wherever you want to share the content to, man, share the content to. Because the more eyes that get on the content, man, the better the content does. And I appreciate all y'all good people in advance, man. But yeah, when we talk about Ryan Flournoy, I'm going to be 1,000 with y'all. 'Cause I'm not perfect. I was not sold on Ryan Flournoy in the least bit, and he is making me look like a damn fool, at least with this performance. 114 yards and 48 yards of yak is nothing to snub your nose up at. Like that is great production. I appreciate that, JV. You the MVP, man. JV, you was the MVP, and I appreciate you, my brother. But yeah, so that's nothing to sneeze at. Led your entire team in receiving yards. Made some clutch plays that resulted in first downs for the Dallas Cowboys. Got involved in the run game last week as well on the end rounds. So, I like what Ryan Flournoy is bringing to the table. I like how they're utilizing him. I like that they trust him at this point. And, being down a bunch of stellar wide receivers, you hope that young guys on your roster step up. Now, I don't know why Jalen Tolbert has not been able to step up in the same capacity. He's been here longer. He's a veteran. He's supposed to have the rapport with Dak Prescott. That's neither here nor there. But when you're down CeeDee Lamb, when you're down Devontae Turpin, you need wide receivers to step in, and wrangle their opportunities. You know what I'm saying? You need people to step up and show you why they belong in the National Football League. While other people on the team have not done that, Ryan Flournoy has, and he has my respect for that shit. Like I will not hold you. Because I don't play favorites. I don't play politics. We even had Jalen Tolbert on the show. Great dude. Outstanding dude. Great person. I like him as a person. But, when it comes to, like, this football thing, he's going to have to show a little bit more, man. Because we seen a whole bunch of guys sort of jump him. You know what I mean? Because I understand Jalen Tolbert, getting jumped by George Pickens because he's supposed to. George Pickens is a different species, as I said before. But Jalen Tolbert getting jumped by Ryan Flournoy, and possibly even getting jumped by Jonathan Mingo when he returns, that is going to be, a sign that he will not be a Dallas Cowboy next year. Mike Jones, who? Mike Jones, what's good with you, my boy? They been tapping in and showing love to the liquor store, my brother. But yeah, man, that's neither here nor there, though. But I'm happy for Ryan Flournoy. I'm looking at Jalen Tolbert a little sideways, but man, I'm happy for Ryan Flournoy. Also, kudos to Brian Schottenheimer because he said a lot of things in the off season, in the downtime when we were preparing for the season, right before things kicked off. You know what I'm saying? And he's been living up to it. He told us that he likes play action and he liked motion and he was going to utilize that shit for Dak Prescott. And up to this point, he's done that. Because according to Bobby Belt, and listen, I have not double checked or triple checked these numbers. So if they're off, I didn't do the legwork myself. I'm reposting what somebody else did. And, I will take accountability for that if it comes out that these numbers are sort of skewed. Right? But he said all 4 of Dak Prescott's touchdowns today came on play action. For the year, he's 46 of 53, which is an 86.8 completion percentage and 463 passing yards, 8.7 yards per attempt, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a passer rating of 134.5 when utilizing play action. So not only is Brian Schottenheimer being a man of his word and using more play action for Dak Prescott, but it's also been very effective. Like Dak Prescott looks damn near unstoppable when they're using play action. And that's come back to the point of another talking point that Brian Schottenheimer had. He said that he wanted to marry the run game and the pass game. And when you successfully do merge those two together and your runs look like your passes and your passes look like your runs, it's very hard for defenses to communicate and successfully stop what is coming. Because even on that George Pickens bomb, like they set that up with a run fake. You know what I'm saying? They set that shit up with a run fake. So Brian Schottenheimer up to this point has kept it real. All the things he's been saying, said 281-330-8004. Hit Mike Jones up on the low. Hold on, man. Hey, I seen that shit in the chat box, man. Salute to Mike Jones in the chat box, man. Salute to all my supporters in the chat box. CJ the original. John in the building, man. Yeah, kudos to the Broncos, man. Kudos to my to Jay too for being here this morning, man. Salute to everybody. I know it's early as hell, but I appreciate y'all for stopping by the liquor store on your coffee breaks, man. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, I gotta give my hats off to Brian Schottenheimer, because throughout the course of this season, play action has been working, and he has not went away from it. The running game has been working, and he has not really faltered or went away from it. So I gotta give him love for that, man. Because this shit could be going the other way, but he's been doing great. What up with you, more Eddie? Salute to you for sliding into the building, man. He said, how about them Cowboys, man? How about them motherfuckers, man? How about them damn Cowboys, man? Speaking about them damn Cowboys, man, salute to the young rookie Shamar James for showing up and showing out in his rookie debut. Well, not his rookie debut, but he had his coming out party yesterday against the New York Jets. So James had 15 tackles. Now, to break this up and divvy this up correctly, he had 8 solo tackles and 7 assists. So he was putting in work. He was always around the ball. He made individual plays against runners, and he was also there, at the point of attack when they were rally tackling. That what that really means. When you have 8 solo tackles, you have 7 assists. You did your job, and then you helped other people do their jobs, getting the ball carriers on the ground. So just to put that into perspective, that's the most by a Cowboys rookie in a single game since Leighton Vander Esch in 2018, and the most in a single game, period, since Sean Lee did it in 2019 with 17 total tackles. So that is impressive. And remember, the 2018 version of Leighton Vander Esch was being compared to Urlacher. Shannon Sharp, who was a Dallas Cowboy hater, was comparing Leighton Vander Esch to Urlacher. And Shamar James had a similar performance to what he had. 15 total tackles, in a football game. Now, I'm not saying that he's playing at an all-pro level, because he barely plays. They barely let my boy hoop. That's neither here nor there. But I am saying that he had a damn good day at the office. had a damn good day, at the office. So I just gotta give love and show love to the young man, dog, because the linebacker position is something that we definitely need to play better. I know that a lot of our scrutiny is based solely on Jack Sanborn and what he does not do, but there have been times where Kenneth Murray, has not looked impressive. There have been mistakes by some of the other young linebackers as well. So if we can get the young linebackers playing more football, if they can make plays, and do enough to where, hey, I ain't gotta have Jack Sanborn out here this much, and we get the best of both worlds. We can get a guy that understands where they supposed to be, and also have the athleticism to make the plays. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm hoping transpires. I'm hoping and praying, that the young guys are able to take full advantage of the opportunities that they have, to where when these older veterans get healthy and they're able to come back, you're not so quick to just pull them out there. Like it gets to the point, to where, hey, I sort of like this young guy. Let's see what he got. And even if they don't completely take over the starting role, if Jack Sanborn was playing 60 snaps at one point, it might go to a 30-30 split. Or it might go to a 40-20 split and Jack Sanborn just get the 20. On obvious rundowns or some shit, you might throw Jack Sanborn out there. And then when you need more athleticism on the field, you'll have Shamar James or somebody out there the other 40 plays. I'm just talking about scenarios and thinking through it, but we need more from our linebackers, and the way that we're going to get more from our linebackers, is by them playing well, when their number is called. And 15th Happy said Shamar was feeling good after my Gators took down the Texas Longhorns. And then that's really an alley-oop for what JVB Boy just said. Are we still tanking for Archie? Listen, first and foremost, I'm going to take this down. I said this before the season started. Arch Manning was not coming out this year. Arch Manning was not coming out this year. You know what I'm saying? That's one. Two, I also pointed out we have not seen a lot of football from Arch Manning. Like, he's young. Really what got people excited about Arch Manning is the skill set and the last name. Because the boy barely played any football up to this point. Right? Because you got to remember, Arch had not started a full season of college football, and they were still saying that NFL teams should tank for this man without seeing him play a full season. That was the hype train. That was the stardom from the last name of Bingham Manning. It's the prestige, and it's also the fact that he plays at Texas. Like, Nick is Texas. I'm an Arkansas fan. That's one of our rivals. We hate their guts. But even we understand that there's a lot of prestige and fanfare and love and mystique when it comes to the Texas Longhorns. So when you factor all that shit together, you got a Manning playing at one of the most premier colleges in the NCAA. There were going to be fanfare. There are going to be some overreactions. Now, even to this point, I still think that Arch Manning is going to develop into an NFL quarterback. But Arch Manning is not ready. He was never going to be ready. And that was not popular when I said it. That was not popular when I said it. A lot of folks didn't like that shit because, a lot of folks down this way are Texas Longhorn fans, of course, because this is Texas where I live at. But it was always the truth. Because we're not saying that Arch ain't talented. What we're saying is Arch ain't played no damn football. And really, it's the same. There's really the same dynamic between Arch and our linebackers. When you talk about Shamar James, when you talk about Maris Leofau, when you talk about some of these younger linebackers that we have on our team and in rotation, your linebackers don't get better in practice. Your linebackers get better when they actually play football. When they actually line up against other teams, or able to hit, diagnose plays, get to the point of contact, Like, that's when linebackers get better. More reps of actually playing football. And that's the same situation with Arch Manning. Arch needs to play more football. He needs to play more football. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, like, listen, because Arch got skills. It's just that Arch has not put that shit together. You know what I'm saying? He ain't put that shit together yet. And that's fine. But your quarterback is doing this right now. So I'm not listening to tanking for Arch Manning. I'm not thinking about getting Lenore Sella. I'm not thinking about Drew Aller. I'm not thinking about none of these young upstart quarterbacks that people really, really like. You know, I'm not thinking about none of them boys. I'm trying to milk the prime of Dak Prescott right now. So, according to PFF, Dak Prescott was money on early downs this week. So, all this shit was early downs. So, 72.2 adjusted completion percentage, 163 yards, 4 touchdowns. I guess all 4 passing touchdowns came on early downs as well. And then 134.4 passer rating. Dak Prescott is doing this. Dak Prescott, the quarterback that's currently on your team under contract for a prolonged period of time. You know what I'm saying? For a prolonged period of time, is playing MVP caliber football right now. So, I'm not thinking about tanking. I'm not thinking about none of that shit. Like, I'm trying to get the most out of Dak Prescott's prime. You know, like, I think Dak is going to be good. He's good this year. And I think the next couple of years, Dak Prescott will still be able to play at a level like this. But we got to fix this defense, you know, in order for us to be able to go out and compete. Like, we have to fix this defense in order for the Dallas Cowboys to compete, you know, in the twilight years of Dak Prescott's prime. You know what I'm saying? Because he's already 32. How long do you think Dak Prescott has to play, you know, MVP caliber football? Because, you know, let's keep it real. Like, I was telling landlord one day Matt Ryan went to sleep and he woke up and he just wasn't good at football no more. And this is somebody that was an MVP in the league, an offensive player of the league, you know, took his team to a Super Bowl. One day he woke up and he just did not have it no more. You know, and that happens with everybody. One day Brett Favre woke up and he wasn't Brett Favre no more. You know, one day Warren Moon woke up. You know, now Tyler, you came in here to dick ride the Dallas Cowboys at 6:43 a.m. You have sleep in your eyes. Your teeth are unbrushed. Your hair is unkempt. Your body is still musty. But you found time to come in and type about the Dallas Cowboys on a Dallas Cowboys show. Tyler, get your shit together, my boy. Get your shit together. Get your shit together. You ain't did nothing in your day. You ain't ate breakfast yet. You hungry, nigga. And you in here hating on the Dallas Cowboys. Man ain't washed his ass, brushed his teeth or nothing. But he found a Dallas Cowboys stream at 6:43 in the morning. Really earlier than that, because I seen another comment he made. And he brought his ass in here talking crazy. That's crazy. My boy said Cowboys coming for a toothpaste. Damn. It's diabolical. Yeah. But yeah, dog, for real. Like, the Dallas Cowboys need to be trying to maximize Dak Prescott's prime. Because the only opponent I don't think that Dak Prescott can defeat is Father Time himself. Because nobody has defeated Father Time. Nobody. So we have to be proactive in putting together a championship caliber defense, you know, for Dak Prescott. We have to put together a championship caliber defense for Dak Prescott. I appreciate you, Doug. Man, I thought Warren Moon played until his 40s. I could be mistaken. I know that he should have played in the NFL sooner. Because of what happened, because of his journey going to the CFL, winning all those championships over there, and then coming to the NFL. But I doubt that Warren Moon had played until his 40s. But I could be mistaken though. Let me know, AW Farmer. I always like insights and shit like that. But yeah, man. But to be fair to the defense, I got to go back to this. Look at the very bottom of this last one, right here. The Dallas Cowboys defense, 5 sacks against the New York Jets after having only 5 sacks in the first 4 games. And no shit like that makes your pass rush looks a lot better. Because now that you got 10 sacks in 5 games, it looks like you're averaging 2 sacks a game. That was not the case, but it looks a lot better. That's not the case, but it looks a lot better. So, having one game like that definitely helps you out. You know what I mean? So, they talked about this too, though, man. They talked about being able to play a little bit more man, but Trayvon Diggs gave a lot of the credit to the front. He said that pass rush was so good they could have played anything behind it. He said the pass rush was so good that they could have played prevent defense and the shit would have worked. Those are high grades, man. Those are high grades. From him. Broncos with it, sack gang. What's up with you, man? Kudos to the Broncos, too, for showing up and beating the dog shit out the Philadelphia Eagles. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all for that. But, yeah, man. But I will say this. The Dallas Cowboys defense, and I'm not even looking at the number. I'm just going by what I feel like I saw from the live copy. The Dallas Cowboys defense, they blitzed more. I saw a lot more 5 and 6 man pressures. They played way more man coverage than they did in weeks past. Cause listen, they were playing 97% zone, up to that point. 97, like me and Landlord went and looked at it. Like that shit was egregious. What's also egregious, is that I only got 21 likes and 89 people watching. You know what I'm saying? Y'all stealing from the church right now, man. Even if you ain't got no money to donate, please hit that like button on the way into the liquor store, man. Because I'm looking at it right now. 21 likes and we had over 80 people in the building, man. I need y'all to hit that like button for you, boy. And if y'all want to hit the Cash App to help keep the lights on in the liquor store, because we poor and hungry and we been eating Fugazios, y'all please hit the Cash App. I pinned it to the top. Or the Super Chat, because we are monetized again. We beat that Rico. We ain't have to tell on nobody. But yeah, man. My nigga said that he played beyond the NFL for so... Okay, so we on the same page. Do you think Ryan Flournoy should be the 3rd wide receiver? It depends on how you feel about Cavante Turpin. Because right now, when CeeDee Lamb comes back, of course, CeeDee Lamb is the number 1 wide receiver. We know that George Pickens is like 1A, is like 1B or the wide receiver 2, whichever way you want to put it. But I think Turk being your primary motion guy, being the person that you move across the formation with his speed, that kind of stuff affects the defense. And up to this point, Cavante Turpin was having a very good year. Yeah, he was on pace to break all of his personal bests for this season until he got injured. Now, Going into this next game, depending on Cavante Turpin's availability, I definitely would look at Ryan Flournoy. I'm gonna be honest with you. If Turp and CeeDee Lamb can't play against the Panthers, that's the next opponent. If neither one of them can go against the Panthers, I'm going into that game looking at Ryan Flournoy as my number 2. George Pickens is going to be my number 1 for that game, and Ryan Flournoy will be my number 2. And then Jalen Tolbert, you'll be regulated to my number 3, and that's if John Domingo can't go. So short term, because that's a very problematic injury that CeeDee Lamb had with the ankle sprain. You don't want to bring nobody back from an ankle sprain too soon. So if CD can't go this next game against the Panthers, right, then I'm going into that with George Pickens as wide receiver 1, Ryan Flournoy as wide receiver 2. I'm gonna let everything else work itself out. Yeah, very different skill set. Very different skill set. Because with Turp, when you get Turp in the open field, with separation, you're probably not going to catch him. And then, but I do, to your point, I do like the fact that Ryan Flournoy broke a tackle and then got all that yak. And then I also like the fact that he finishes through contact very well. You know what I'm saying? Because Ryan Flournoy is not a small guy. He's a very physical wide receiver. Ryan Flournoy is a very physical wide receiver. Matter of fact, let me just take a look at Bro's dimensions. Yeah, they got him listed at 6'1", 201 pounds. So he's not a small wide receiver by any stretch of the imagination. Him barreling down on an opposing defensive back at full speed, he's going to be hard to get down with a full head of speed, and he got some momentum. So that's a good talking point. You know what I'm saying? And listen, because you got both of them, you can also have situations where everybody's on the field. 4 wide receiver set, you can have CeeDee Lamb out there with George Pickens, and you can have Ryan Flournoy out there with Cavante Turpin. And then depending on what the look is and what the play call is, it depends on where the ball goes. It's always good to have more than one viable receiving option. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I definitely agree with that shit. Definitely agree with that. And listen, man. Shotty spoke, about what this game actually meant, what this win actually meant, for his coaching staff. As a matter of fact, it was Jerry Jones said this shit. He said, the main thing I want to say is the credibility of our coaches just went up today in the eyes of the players. It was a great coaching job. And let's be 1,000. I normally be saying this some baby back bullshit when Jerry Jones get to talking, because he do talk a lot, and for no obvious reason outside of the fact that he owns the team and he wants to be in the spotlight. But let's keep it 1,000, because me and Lan talked about this last night on the show. Do y'all remember when we used to automatically lose football games and Sean Lee didn't play? Do y'all remember that when Tyron Smith did not play, we did not have a good plan of attack, and we got Tony Romo or Dak Prescott killed every time when Tyron Smith couldn't go, and Tyron Smith was injury prone, so that happened a lot? Do y'all remember those days? Being down 1 or 2 people, needing to be completely healthy to feel like we can win football games. That is no longer an issue anymore with the Dallas Cowboys. There's no longer an issue anymore with the Dallas Cowboys. You know what I mean, man? Southside, what the hell you talking about? The Dallas Cowboys had 11 penalties this game. What we talk about with credibility for the refs? The Dallas Cowboys had 11 penalties. The Dallas Cowboys had more penalties than the New York Jets. Did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Did your parlay not hit? If your poor lady in here, I'd be mad as a motherfucker too, man. I understand it. I get it, my nigga. I understand it. I've had plenty of those days, man. It's all good though. It's all Gucci. But yeah, man, like the Dallas Cowboys went out there without the number one wide receiver in CeeDee Lamb, without Tyler Smith, their all-pro left guard, without Tyler Booker, the 12th overall pick from this draft, without Tyler Guyton, their first-round pick from the previous season, without Cooper Beebe, their starting center, without Malik Hooker, and you might be better without Malik Hooker, your starting safety, without Kevontae Turpin, your starting kick returner and your wide receiver 3, without Miles Sanders, your running back 2, without Marshawn Nealon, your former second-round pick who's a key contributor in the defensive line rotation. You went out there without all them folks, and you blew them niggas out. What's up with you, Rail? Thank you for tapping in. Spot, can you save me? What's good with you, man? What's up with you, man? Good to see y'all in the building, man. Good to see y'all coming in, man. Now, listen, there's 93 people in the liquor store right now, man. I'm going to need y'all to hit the like button for me. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the Cash App, hit the Super Chat, slap the fuck out of an Eagles fan, man. Hey, this is a Victory Monday. We got a lot to be excited about, man. Your Dallas Cowboys showed more fight and more grit, than they have at any other point. And I don't give a damn. I don't give a flying fuck that it was the New York Jets. Cause we seen this defense make every quarterback look good. We seen this defense make Russell Wilson, look like an MVP. We seen this defense make Caleb Williams look unstoppable. We seen this defense, give it up left and right like a freak hoe, right? They did not do that this game. They held the team to 22 points. They forced turnovers. They got sacks. They got pressures. They got quarterback hits. And that's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for. And I mean, Cowboy execution, some of the backups are better than the starters. But I ain't finna start mess before 7 o'clock. So we're going to keep that on the low. I'm not even going to tell y'all which starters are, I ain't going to tell y'all which backups are better. But, I'm going to let y'all use y'all imagination. But Cowboy execution wasn't wrong. But we ain't going to talk about that right now. Nah, we ain't going to talk about that right now, man. We're going to talk about this offense being amazing. And this, really, because listen, even with the last game, the numbers for the defense are not going to be great. You had 4 weeks of being pathetic. One good week is not going to tilt the scales, but if you keep putting together solid defensive performances and not giving up as many points, as you did, those numbers are going to start coming down. Nah, Jake, I don't have a call in right now. I don't have a call in. I'm going to get one eventually. I keep putting it off, but I'm going to get a call in eventually so I can chop it up with my folks, man. I know that y'all be having a lot to discuss. So, one day I'm going to get them. Oh, well, we finna stay on Shotty. Because, listen, we only 5 games in. He got 12 more games of calling good games, dog. He got 12 more, games, man. So, number one offense. What's up with you, Ron? Yeah, that was a good coaching job by Campbell too. I did not know y'all were that snake bitten the other year. So kudos to y'all. That was a good coaching job as well. You said gotta check shady, bitch. Man, listen. Y'all gotta stop arguing with unemployed people. Cause didn't that nigga get fired? Didn't that nigga get fired? All right. We ain't worried about shady. But yeah, Dallas Cowboys still have the number one offense. Dak is second in passing yards. Javonte is second in rushing yards. Jordan Pickens is second in receiving touchdowns. Jake Ferguson is second in receptions. And you got to remember, dog, like Shotty is, I know that he's not the actual offensive coordinator because that's Clayton Adams. But Shotty's calling the plays, man. Shotty's calling the plays. Shotty's the one dialing it up. So, you know, you got to give him a lot of praise for it. And the fact that Clayton Adams is here. Shotty could have easily hired one of his partners that he knew for 50, 11 years and had him as the offensive coordinator. But he went and did his due diligence and got a great offensive mind in here to help him, right? He did not have a prior relationship with Clayton Adams. He just seen him from afar, identified him as somebody whose scheme he really liked and respected, and brought him in. The same goes for the offensive line coach. The same goes, for all the offensive assistants and stuff, man. Like, when you look at the offensive side of the ball, you know what I mean? It's nothing but overly qualified people over there. Even when you take a look at the passing game coordinator and Ken Dorsey, a lot of folks don't even know that Ken Dorsey is over here, and a lot of folks don't even know the impact that Ken Dorsey had on young quarterbacks. You know, like Josh Allen and them, right? He's your passing game specialist, right? So you got all these great offensive minds over there. You got Shotty, who was a young up and coming play caller at one time himself. You got Clayton Adams and his exotic run scheme. You got Ken Dorsey, who is lauded as a good developer of quarterbacks, right? You got all that going on over there on the offensive side of the ball. It don't really look like that on defense, man. I'm just saying, it don't really look like that on defense. Matt Eberflus hired his partners. Like, I known him since kindergarten. That's my linebacker coach. I used to date his sister. We stayed cool. This is my defensive line coach. This is my partner. Nah, dog. Nah, man. So I like, the hirings that Shotty did on offense, and they're paying dividends. Because I'm not gonna put all the credit on Shotty, because Dak plays a big part in this too. Just him playing at a high level. But when you talk about how he constructed the staff, because you got to get credit for when you bring in outside guys and they work. When he constructed the offensive staff, he put his foot in that shit. He put his foot in that shit. So I'm ready. I like what Shotty's doing. Now, this is on a week by week basis, because if he go out here, he calls a bad game against the Panthers, we on his ass. You know what I'm saying? Because we're still in must-win territory. You got to get to 3-2-1. You have to get to 3-2-1 in order for this shit to matter. You cannot afford to drop a game. You cannot afford to drop a game against the Carolina Panthers. This is still must-win territory. It's still must-win territory. So you have to go out there, handle your business against the Carolina Panthers, and then you play some more competition. And if you're able to win a couple of those games, then we're talking. So I'm not gonna just sit up here and praise him nonstop. The shit ain't over with. The shit is far from over with. And I like Shotty, but the shit is far from over with. But yeah, dog, it's been almost an hour. I do have to go to work this morning. I just wanted to come on here and bring y'all some quality Dallas Cowboys content. Of course, it's Monday. So it's Monday. We'll be doing Cowboys Uncut probably at 6:30. Now, my brother landlord is sick, so I need y'all to hit his Cash App so he can get some chicken noodle soup. I'm going to put it in the chat box. It's $landlord723. Because he ain't feeling well. I know my nigga didn't go to work, and this is one of the hardest working people I know. Every time I talk to landlord, he working or going to work. And he couldn't even go to work this morning. He was that sick. So hit my boy on the Cash App. Send my nigga some money for some orange juice. Send my nigga some money for some chicken noodle soup. You know, send him some money for some NyQuil or something. Y'all make sure y'all show my boy some love, man. But it's your boy, Henny the Moore, reporting live from the liquor store. And I am out.